I want him.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy Takashi. I'm here. I'm here to bring you guys a discussion, aka live stream, with my main man BSP, aka Tokyo 64, aka my mentor. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, brothers? How you doing, brother? What's going on? Thanks for inviting me onto the show tonight.
Hey, brother, thank you for being available. I appreciate it. I know you got a lot going on, and trust me, like I said, hopefully I can ease some of the tension a little bit by us having some conversations and talking about some important things, and and hopefully make the transition a little bit smoother. I would like to think that it would, but I can't be a judge of that. I think you have to be. But all in all, guys, like I said, we're here to have a conversation, and like I said, the topics tonight are going to be about marriage specifically. Um, that's one, and also the step forwards in manhood for as a black man, what it takes for what do you have to become in order before you get to a husband, quote unquote father, and I think the last part is going to be a free for all. But those two main things that I do want to that I definitely want to talk about, and my brother here, Tokyo 64, aka my mentor, is here to literally help me give his perspective. And also, I'm taking notes, guys. I got a pen with me today. So, yeah, I do. Hey, listen, I got you, man. If I'm going to study and do all this, man, it's the old school way. Old school ways should never be forgotten. I know you agree with that.
Yes, brother.
And also, that's how I passed some of my tests. Let's just keep it real. If I didn't have my notes, I'm still. Trust me, I studied that paper to get a freaking above a C plus to get a B. So, hey, them notes worked. So in college, they would definitely worked. But all in all, brother. So I guess my first question is we're gonna do the marriage topic first. And the thing I want to ask you is would you consider marriage more of an achievement once you've gotten everything you wanted to get done, as opposed to it just being something that you just wanted to do after you know, because you met this woman, quote unquote, such and such. And I guess hold on, the way to clean it up together, how I'm asking you this is two differences. One, do you see it as an achievement? Because that's kind of because for me, I see it as one. Or two, do you see it as like this is something that like I've been seeking to do since I was young, you know, kind of like a goal.
That's a good question. Good question, brother. I me being married, almost 16 years now to my wife. And previous marriages, I didn't make it, but I'm on a good roll right now. Um, I would say, if you're looking at it as being an achievement, you want to look at it as a personal achievement, as far as like where you yourself are at. So what I'm getting at here, brothers, is you have to be prepared for America. Okay. So a man, see, in the West, what they don't tell us is they don't tell us, man, or they don't teach us, or we don't learn it because, at least for the brothers, anybody in the West really, but especially us brothers, what we're not aware of here is that marriage is very serious. And in this country where we live, they act like marriage is no big deal. It's like, you see the movies all over the place. It's like, hey, let's get married. Okay. And you got guys marrying girls that they should never marry in the movies. or they
Right.
try to spice it up and say, hey, marry a woman with 3 kids, man. Look, and you feel, take a chance. You see people in the movies, take a chance, those other stuff, right? But see, I'm here to tell you, man, you have to build up your finances. You have to build up your yourself. Well, first of all, yourself, of course, and that doesn't cost anything. You build yourself up. You have to educate yourself. You have to build your intellect. You have to build your morale. Your whole welfare. That's what it is, morale, welfare. You have to build your health, but you have to be financially sound, and then that in itself, prepares you for marriage. So I wouldn't call it a goal. What I would call it, like you said, I would classify it as a personal achievement that needs to be achieved, because if it's not achieved, you will not be able to get married. That makes sense. I hope that makes a lot of sense. There was a lot of things.
No. That makes sense to me. I guess what I would add on extra. If you're seeking it, you're gonna want to seek it out once you've accomplished what you wanted to do. Because I see it more of it as an achievement for all your hard work and things like that. Like, you get this woman, quote unquote, and you've worked your blood, sweat, and tears into this. Hence, in my video, guys, if you saw my live stream video between me and my older brother Vertus, we actually talked about this. For me, I do see it as a reward more often than not. I think the thing is, like, once like I said, I have the money to support her. Not to mention our future endeavors, quote unquote, our children when they come into play, and also some of them save money once they're out. They graduated out of the house more often. When I say that, what term I use, graduated out of the house when they're out. And then me and my lady live out our days, and then after that we just kind of go on vacations and things like that, or and just like quote unquote. I tell people all the time, one of my favorite scenes in quote unquote Marvel, give it a Marvel thing for you guys, is that when Cap literally has a simple life with Peggy, and I love the hell out of that because he's a man who's worked his ass off from being a soldier, from saving the world and being selfless and never having anything for himself, because he's all about sacrifice, which would make him, I would say, in some sense, make him a good father, because you gotta be willing to sacrifice enough for your kids and the lady you want to be with, and that's what it comes with. And also, like I said, it's no longer about you; it's about them, which is what I've always believed. And for me, not fear I have, it's just more so, once I've gotten everything, I'm always under the pressure and I'm afraid I'll fuck it up. And the reason why I'm afraid I'll fuck it up is because if I misplay one step or something like that, and here's what I mean by misstep. I'm talking about, like, I'm doing everything else right, the working and all that, not slacking up, not getting drunk, any of that, which I'm positive that wouldn't happen with me, because I don't drink out that much to begin with. Because substance abuse runs deep in my biological families and things like that. So that spurred me not to want to do that. And if I were to do it, it'd just be one cup and that's the end of it. And I don't ever, like I said, I don't ever show that to my wife, my kids. That's why I would never do it. And more likely not, I'm not gonna exchange sake, except with the father-in-law. And that's just to, like, understand, like, where I am and things like that. But because I don't know what I'll do when I'm under the influence of, like, a substance. Besides the leave, because I just relieves my headaches, brother. Because I get a lot of migraines. That's why I said I need, like, a kind of like a silent cheerleader, a woman that speaks, of course, but not very loud. But that's where I'm getting with that. I just want to make sure I do everything correctly, and I remember you all telling me, allow yourself to make mistakes, not big ones, but like little small ones, and then learn on it and come back better. I do remember you and a couple other cats I talked to telling me that, and I think, like I said, I think I would have things in place in case something, if I wasn't fulfilling one quota outside of the important stuff. It would seem small to me, but big to her.
Mm-hmm.
And
I want to inject something here, brother. Before you...
Go ahead.
I want to inject something. You said you look at it as being a reward. The reason why I I don't think it's really a reward when you're looking at the marriage thing. It's only this because of them. I'm just gonna be straight up. You know how I am. It's because marriages can fail, and what I don't want brothers to do is to, of course, you want to put your heart and soul in everything, but at the same time, you also need to understand that things may not go the way you plan them to go. Because
Exactly.
now you're bringing in another human being, and not only are you bringing in another human being, you're bringing in the opposite sex, and not only bringing the opposite sex, you're bringing in a person that has been altered by her family values in her society, whatever the case may be. I mean, like me, I'm married to a Japanese woman, and I chose this woman because I looked at her background, I looked at her family background, and I really, you know, liked what I saw. So I went ahead and I pursued. But with that being said, a lot of brothers are going to run into those type of situations. I just don't want brothers to be. I don't want them to overblow it. Is what I'm saying. I don't, like I said, I don't see it as a reward because you put too much work into it and effort into it, and it seems like you are doing all the work. But you got to understand, the female that you choose have to have that background that you desire in a woman. She has to have also put in the work, with
Yeah.
meaning the kindness, whatever you're looking for in a female. So it's 50-50, of course. And yeah, you have to do your thing and your due diligence to make sure you're ready and you're financially secure and set before you walk into a marriage. Because, like I said, in the West, people think you can just get married on a whim when you ain't got a dollar in the bank. All right, man, I ain't got nothing money. All right, babe, let's just get married. That's not the way it should be. You have to be financially prepared, mentally prepared, to where if something goes awry, you're still gonna come out of it okay. If that makes sense. I think calling it a reward, it just
Okay.
makes it seem like that's the only prize you're gonna have ever have a chance to get, if you will.
Yeah. And I would,
When you got
and like I
brothers out
said,
there like myself who had to go through time.
okay. Thank you for like I said, not just a sense of correcting me, but also like making me understand that it can also fail too. I like I said, the thing is, I don't ever want to come in with negative with marriage because I tell people, like I said, you can't go and seeking like think about you're gonna get a divorce, but because it's not smart to come in like that. But also, you got to be prepared. You gotta have things in preparations in case things happen. And please believe, this is just me because it's just like on one hand, I see where people are coming from when they don't want to, and I definitely understand. I definitely understand their point when they say it because it's just like, what the hell, dude? There's no benefit for us to get married specifically now, and it's just like, and of course in America, I don't agree getting married in America. I agree being married in Japan, and just for me specifically. And like you said, when I've done all the research, like you said, for your lady, similar to that, and her family background, things of that nature, and she passed all metrics, and of course I passed all her metrics, and like, okay, I'm gonna get a confirmation amongst me and all my guys to make sure that this is all legit. Now people are like me funny. What are you asking her to do? So I'm like, yeah, I'm not saying if you're confident because you need a second hand. I'm like, no, guys, I'm good at reading people, but also I could be missing something. But this is where your mother comes in half the time. Because my mother will vet any, well, not vet, more so she will do a background check on anybody who actually dates me, or anybody who I let in the house. Like if she meets her, things like that, she'll check because, like I said, she married a military man. So let's not get it twisted. She learned something. so she would see me like, I think she really cares for you, son. She seems to have all the good aspects of the qualities that make her a good wife into our family. It's up to you though. And it's just like, and that's why I say you couldn't get second hand from a woman. Oh, go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say it's like a lot of times what will happen. Okay, the mental preparation is very important because, yeah, I'm not, like you said too, we don't want brothers going in the negative way. We want to understand that it is going to work. Marriage does work. But what we need to understand what marriage is really about. In other words, we can't just get ready for it and then be like and not know what it's about. Marriage,
Yes.
for the most part, is a business arrangement between a man and a woman. That's just me. I'm a old school dude. I believe in male female relationships because that's the way that I've that's my comfort zone. As far as I'm not knocking anybody for whatever else they want to do, but I know that your streams, my streams, our streams are mostly about or all about heterosexual relationships.
Exactly.
What I call natural relationship between a man and a woman. So what I'm saying is that, it's like you're a man, you've gotten yourself financially ready, you have your assets, because this is what you should have when you bring it to the table when you're going to marry a female. You marry a woman. Some women don't like to be called females for some reason. They on the female thing. But I'm gonna say what I want to say because it's my
No,
mouth.
go ahead.
But see, what I'm getting at is that you do all that preparation, you make sure you all financially secure and things like that, and then you bring a woman into you want to bring a woman into your life to raise a family. What you got to understand though is that it is really an arrangement that has to work both ways. In other words, you know what you're bringing to the table, but they have to bring to the table as well. Not committed to you, totally committed to the marriage in general, and as well as the man. Like I said, some men
Agreed.
they find it easier to prepare, but then when they actually get into a situation, they don't really know how to handle it because you always have to be up on your toes. You have to it's not a difficult arrangement at all. It really isn't difficult. It's very simple. It's basically you, the man, you providing for your family, you putting food in your wife, and your mouth, and your kid's mouth. That's what it's about. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you are going to always feel committed to that. You're always going to be committed to doing it, and that you are not that you know that you're not the kind of man to just walk away from a relationship. What I'm getting at is sometimes relationships don't work the way you want to work. So then, are you going to be the kind of man that says, well, you know what, this ain't working out, I'm out of here? Or are you going to be the kind of man that try to make it work? Well, then you got to ask yourself, to what extent do I try to make this work? If this isn't working, in other words, the bottom line is this. When you go in, you need to know going into a marriage what your limitations are as a man. You need to know what can you put up with, what can you stand? Because if you get to a relationship in marriage or not, or married, and this woman is doing something that you cannot stand, then that marriage is gonna end.
Yes.
Because you as a man don't have to put up with bullshit. Because it's gotta be, and that's what men gotta understand. It's gotta be on your purpose. But they gotta be willing to be on your purpose. If they're not willing to be on your purpose, if they're not willing to understand you, to give you your space, then they need to go in and get the hell out of your life. And you as a man need to know that is going to have to be the way it's going to be if that doesn't happen. You see too many men out there, oh man, I'm going to give her another chance, or man, okay, give her another chance because what? Because she got mad because you spilled milk and you had an argument? Yeah, that I understand. But
Yeah,
give her another chance because she's not on your purpose? No. In other words, you have to have your set way that you need to be as a man in a marriage. And you have to make sure that way is going to work for you. If it doesn't work, it's not going to work.
Right. I've always said come in with your boundaries, come in with your goal set, and also what you're planning on, what you want for how this family and marriage to proceed.
Yeah, just like you and your brother was on the stream, and it's funny because I was trying to be on that stream, and I got off because I had so many things going on. I was like, oh man, I want to listen to it. I was listening to it earlier today. So y'all were talking about sharing a female. And
that was the topic that we had heard, and then we give our thoughts on it. And I said, hell no, I'm not doing that.
Exactly, because I made a comment on what
somebody got me all messed up, thinking that I'm going to agree to that. I'm like, no.
Well, see, that's what I mean by marriage. Something like that extreme. It won't always be that extreme. But what if it does? If a woman says to you, well, hey, I want to share my body with other men, and you marry this female, guess what? That marriage is over.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Oh man, the term I hate to say it, but no, that person is a cuck because they let some other dude freaking to do that, and I'm just like, no. Like a real man wouldn't let first of all, no real man with the soul. Like I said in my video, I'm gonna quote exactly what I said. We share his woman, whatever, dude. That's just not happening. F that. F that.
No,
That's just not happening.
because they'll watch a Hollywood movie and it'll win an Oscar. It'll be some movie about some couple that shared his wife, and they won an Oscar. Grammy. The lady who's acting as the shared wife won her Best Actress or some shit, and then the dude won Best Supporting Actor because he was playing the role of, hey, that's my wife. I'll let her do what she wants. And then next you know, you got all the women in the States. Oh, I want to share it. I want to do what she's doing. No, that's Hollywood. That is for entertainment.
It's not real. It never translates to real life. In order for me, like I said, there's some people who are okay with that, and I'm one of the people who are not okay.
Yeah, and
me and my brother was like, hell no, because that's like
you have to stick to your ground. You have to stand your ground.
Yes, you have to put that stake in the ground. Exactly.
Ain't no feeling sorry for her. Ain't no, oh man, but I'm a mister. Ain't no. Wait a minute. But what did she? But she violated your number one rules, right? She violated your ways. She violated your existence as a man. You ain't no feeling sorry for nothing. Just out the door, grab your shit and go. Go to, you want to get a lawyer? Go get a lawyer. We'll figure it out. But see, you're set up financially where, here's another thing I want to tell the brothers real quick. That's what I'm saying, is set yourself up financially. Rich people do it all the time. They know going into a marriage that it may not necessarily last, but it may end one day. And if it does, guess what? You got to be financially prepared to handle it. You see brothers, oh man, I got to pay child support. Oh man, I got to do all this, man. I got to do all that. You got brothers out there trying to take their own life over this damn child support. Man, you know what you got to do? You got to set yourself up financially to where when you go in the game, you call in the shot. And if something go awry, if it doesn't work, it don't work. Write the broad a check, and you out there. Next, that's how it's gotta be.
On to the next one.
Brothers can't be sitting up there. We like, oh man, but I'm gonna lose a lot of money if I let it go, man. You got these saying out there. It's cheaper to keep her. Cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep is bullshit. It's a way of throwing your life down the tube. You only got one life on this particular rock. Okay, your next life you may be born in somewhere where the sky is no longer blue, but the sky is green, or the water is black. You don't know, but you will never see this particular rock once you leave this bitch. You see what I'm saying? That's my take on life. Yeah, I believe in reincarnation, but I'm not. But I'm saying, but on this particular rock, you only get one shot. So why would you ruin your life for some cheaper to keep a bullshit? If the woman is not living on your purpose, get her out of your house at that moment. And that's part of being called man up. That's man up. It's called being man. It's called man up. So I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to get off on a tangent, but I just had to put that out there.
No. Brother, I want you to speak your mind. Literally. No one, like I said, no one is freaking gatekeeping you here, man. No one can control your thoughts. I want you to speak your piece. And don't even worry about it. Like I said. Anybody has a problem with it, man, you're a troll. or you're a grievance, like I said, just actually come and talk about it, like I said last person. But but other than that, I do yes, I do have to believe if you're gonna be a man of character and you're gonna pay the cost to be the boss, then that lady has to be on your purpose and also know the contract that she's getting in with you, because marriage isn't what it was in the 90s or 90s, 80s is what I'll say. Because it's more of a contract, and I know it is. But I'm sorry, there's no but like in this sense, you have to be prepared for multiple things, and also understand that if this is something you really want, then commit 100% to it. Unless there's some effort, don't make a kid. If there, actually, no, screw this. Hold on. Let me say something. Let me retract that. Before you're, hold on. Sorry about that. I was getting cold. Oh, no. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Y'all trying to call me. I said before you even bring up the topic of marriage, make sure you vet her properly, read body language, all this. You've done her research before that even comes into play. Mm-hmm. Be honest. Before marriage even comes up. You shouldn't be getting married. You shouldn't be married to her and have these issues. There should have been something you should have already, quote unquote, seen. And I know people are gonna probably make this argument in the chat once I upload this, probably, where it'd be like, "Well, Jay, can you never tell?" I'm like, bro, body language, her speech, all that, mannerisms, etiquette, all that. Pay attention to all of that.
To bring on that, Jay, you know, a lot of brothers like out of the boat, they don't really understand body language. They don't understand a lot of these different things. And the reason,
Well, I'm old school, so I know. I know.
yeah, but see, the reason why they don't because what I'm getting at is they marrying too young. They 21, 22-year old. They think they're in love with a female, but they don't even know about women. They like they 20, 21 years old. Man, I think I'm in love. I'm gonna marry this girl. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about experience. You need to experiment with different personalities of females because, like for example, you and I we both love Japanese women, right? I mean, I love all kind of women, but Japanese women to me is number one on my list, only because I've lived in Japan 11 years, more than 11 years. I've been back and forth to Japan. I'm married to a Japanese woman. I'm married to 3 Japanese. So I know of the essence of how they are. But what I'm trying to say is, brothers, is that you may get to Japan and think you found the one, and she may not be the one for you. They are not all cracked out the way they look. They may look feminine. They may look like they may throw in the kimono and thinking they cute. But when you dig deep and you found out they come from a broken home, that's a no. You never want to marry a Japanese person. You know, so you no matter what, that's what I'm trying to say. You have to determine, is she wifeable or is she the kind of woman that can be wifeable? You don't want a can be wifeable. You need a wifeable woman. A black woman out there, the BWs, we got sisters in our family and everything like that. And I'm not up here to disrespect any group, but I'm here to bring the fact. And I know that a lot of BWs in our state and in the country, they say, "Oh, I can do that. I can be a wife. Oh, I can be." No, I don't need you. I can be. That needs to be bred in you.
Already into you. There we go.
By your mom's actions.
Oh, BSP, they're gonna love that one. I mean it. Like the chat is actually gonna love what you just said right there. You said when they need to be about it. Yeah, they're gonna love that one.
They gotta be about it because
that's actually facts. People actually agree with that.
So unfortunately, a lot of the women, my sisters included, we grew up with single moms, and the single mom's job is to manipulate, to teach the women to manipulate a man, right? So how are you gonna come at me and saying you can be a wife, but your mama wasn't even a wife? That brother, that holds precedence to me. You can't be a wife. When people be like, well, you can't blame. Why are you blaming my mama for me? Because that's where you came from. Brothers need to pay attention to where they come from. They could be the finest woman in the world. If she come from a broken home, grew up in the projects or whatever, a street girl, but then she act like she wanted all of a sudden be feminine, and her mama walk around with hoodies on, that's not the woman you need to be marrying. That should tell you right at the back. That's not the kind of woman for me. Also, brothers need to understand, brothers have a problem reading females. What I mean by reading females is, it's a simple thing. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You just can't.
Yeah, and a lot of people really believe that. And I'm like, guys, you really can't. You really can't.
You're not going to change that Bronx accent, Bronx girl walking down the street like a boy, like, what's up, baby? But I could be a wife. No, you can't. You a dude in a woman's body, and I don't want you. That's what brothers have to come out and say.
Right.
We know
we don't want the same thing as ourselves. No. I agree with that. Like I said, I don't date a girl that's like a boy, because then I would date a boy.
Yeah, you're not asking for another man in your house. You know what I'm saying? You need a woman in your house that's going to be there for you no matter what. Some days you come home, you may not be in the mood to talk. You may get a little upset, but guess what? All they need to do is say, "Okay, baby, I know you had a hard day. Let me go ahead and make you some dinner. Dinner's ready." That's all you want to hear. Soup and silence and sandwich is what they say. I ain't got time for the bullshit.
Right. And for me, I people don't know. I've said it a long time. Like, guys, I get migraines. Like literally, sometimes every once in a blue moon for my jobs. And the thing is, it's just hard to come home. Like I'm talking about, let's say I'm an exceptional worker, which I work really, really hard specifically, but I'm trying to work even tenfold more than that. I'm giving away my body for this family, for you, for our kids. I'm doing all of this. All of it. All I ask is that you be civilized, like a civilized person, and communicate with me. Trust me, I would never marry someone who says, "Yo, I just trying to work." And you pout and you like jumping off with that shit. You gotta chill. Like if you go listen, if you have a conversation, act like an adult. Because you're like just like you people just like we get on your men says, listen, you're an adult, not a child. Act like it. In this case, I'm gonna say this. You'll hear me when I say this, but I'm gonna say this too. You're an adult. You're an adult woman. Act like it. Don't act like a child on a tantrum. You should not have high school mentality or child mentality. You should be able to conduct yourself in a civilized way and communicate with your significant other. The minute you go off a tantrum, you are a child. And I didn't marry a child. I ain't got no daughter.
With that, like you were saying, man, the problem with America is most of our women and our men are stuck in middle school.
I really believe that too.
Most of them are stuck in middle school. They can't have a decent conversation. They don't know how. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to shut up. They don't know how to keep their mouth shut. They hate losing. They don't want to lose. They got to get the last word in. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big problem.
A woman like that is not wifeable to me. I'm sorry, you're not wifeable. You're just not. And that's what I'm saying. When you, as you building yourself up towards your achievement of obtaining a wife, you also have to know that, look, there have to be certain standards that you have to stick by. We create standards that we need to stick by those standards. And my standard was always, I'm not going after a hood rat. That's not wifeable to me. You know, I don't care what program she got, how many classes she took in college, how much student loan she accumulated. She can never be wifeable because of where she came from. And some people may hate me for that. They can hate me all they want, but it's true. You got a world full of women. You got 21-year-old Ukrainians coming here every day that are wifeable, that are ready to be on your purpose. You got women in Norway ready to be on your purpose. Japan ready to be on your purpose. You got women from Colombia all over the place ready to be on your purpose. Why do you have to deal with these females that are not on your purpose? The world is your oyster. And that's what men need to know as we grow, as we work toward our achievement.
No, definitely. And like I said, and then that's for the guys who work really, really hard, specifically, who busted their ass to get what they have to get to. And I definitely understand that mindset where it's just like, listen, I'm busting my ass for this, okay, y'all. I just want, listen, if I'm gonna have a family, I just want a lady that can have her own thoughts, not loud, not aggressive, just be a girl. Like for example, if people notice in high school, girly girls, we as black brothers were attracted to that. We liked girly girls. I didn't like girls who I didn't like dudes. None of us did. I can remember like two partners that said like, nah, man, she got too much attitude. She got too much like mouth. So I don't like her. That's why I didn't go out with her. I'm like, all right, and I was like, all right at the time, and I actually saw her act up, and I'm like, yeah, I see what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. When I was young, it's just like when you don't understand that, but when you see it and you believe it, I'm like, I was one of those cats. I was like, okay, yeah, he was right. And then just like on a random act in the hallway, I'm just like, okay, that's crazy. So it's just like, so for me, like I always gravitated to like girly girls because I'm like, they actually acted like a lady specifically, yes. And I was attracted to that specifically, and heck, it it made me chivalrous in a sense. Like I said, because I learned proper etiquette, manners from my grandmother. So I know how to treat a lady simply from that. But one of the thing, but the thing is for me, she was like, you should. The thing is, I rewarded a little bit from my grandmother. I'm gonna say this: only woman that's my wife is gonna get that treatment. Or the woman that I meet that made my wife is going to get that treatment. And the reason why she will get that treatment from me, specifically because she is a lady, and I'm only gonna be a gentleman towards her and no other woman whatsoever. Yep. And that's how it should be. So it shouldn't just be any woman. Hell no. It should be the one that you marry specifically for that. Like it's already in you, but it's gonna come out more when you have this feminine, alluring woman who smells beautiful, who looks beautiful, who also is a joy to be around. And it's just like, how do I want to open the door for you? Oh yeah, so you my lady. I got you. Things like that. And it's like that's how I see that. I'm not gonna do it for Susie Man next door. Most likely not.
No,
it's not happening.
No.
But shoot, if my wife wanted to do that freaking door, shoot, I'll open it right for her. Oh yeah.
And you hit it right on the spot, Jay. That's why you, when you do get married, that's how you have to handle the women. Like myself, like I said, I walked down the street like this day. Me and my boy had boys' day. We went to Seattle. We kicked it all morning. Went to underground tour. Did public market spots that he liked and I liked. Walked around. Had we got breakfast early and stuff. So, but the thing is women walking by trying to be all attractive. I just was not even staring, not even paying them no mind, because I got my family. They mean absolutely nothing to me. Nothing. They are nothing. They could be even Longoria or Selma Hayek or whoever walking down the street. They mean absolutely nothing to me. They're not my wife. They don't mean nothing to me. I have nothing to say to them, and they mean absolutely nothing to me. Now, if you want to engage in some eye candy, yeah, of course you can look and see, okay, this looks nice, but that is about it. Those women, remember, those women are nothing to you. They have nothing for you, because all they trying to do is get what you got. Always think, a man should always know that women are out to get what you got, period. It ain't the other way around. It never should have been the other way around. They out to get what you got. You don't care what they got.
Yeah.
Because you can get, I'll give you an example. I got a guy that I know, a longtime friend of mine who's been married, for a minute. He married a young girl in his 40s. I think she's like 20, almost 20 years younger than him. And now they've been married 20 years and they don't have any children. And so now he's at the point in his life where he wants to go out and have kids, but he doesn't want her to know. But he's got some arrangements where he can be with some females to make children with. So I find that like a kind of like a touchy kind of subject, because my thing is why didn't you impregnate this woman when you had her ripe at 21, 20 years old, 22 years old? Why wait till she's almost damn near 40 and then decide to want to have children? You know what I mean? So that is something that he himself as a man has worked out. I'm not going to judge that man for whatever he decides he wants to do, but my advice to any man in that situation would be this: talk to your woman, let her know what you feel. See, his problem is that he doesn't have any children, and he's concerned that when he passes away as he gets older, that he's not going to have any seed left in the world,
any legacy. Yeah,
Well, yeah. That's see. So what I'm getting at is it is unnatural for a man to not have children. It is unnatural for a man to you young, you get your thing together, we get it, but eventually you will need to produce children. Humans need to understand, we are on this earth for one thing and one thing only:
biological.
More of each other. Everything else is bullshit. Everything else is just to support that. Everything else supports the reproductive process. That's what it really amounts to. People need to understand that you got people out there, well, I ain't gonna have no kid. And then when they get old enough, then they all of a sudden they're 40 years old, they want a woman, want to have kids. You ain't having no kids. You're 40 years old. Your children run the risk of Down syndrome.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Once you decide you don't want to have children and you go through 20 years, you don't have them, you ain't gonna have them. That's it. That's your choice.
Yeah, it was one thing if they were 27, 28, and you managed to get like 3 out before that she turned like 32 or 31.
Yeah,
I get that. That makes sense to me. But when it's past that, it's just like 35. I'm like, well, why? Like why waste her best years like that?
Yeah, why waste?
Because I remember we had this conversation about not most likely, but definitely my wife will be younger than me. Like like I said, she'll be in the 21 to 25 range around that time. And once I've got everything done, I'm like, okay, I got everything ready. Let's have kids. We talked about this already. Like I said, because it's gonna be 2 conversations. The first one before when you first met me, and the second time once we know what we want, and I'm confirming that with you. Because that's what everyone. Specifically our friend, majority of thing.
Too, Jay. Remember back in the day, our parents, man, when BWs were women, when our great grandmothers were women, they were the best women in the world.
Oh yeah. My grandma, I told her, like, I wish I could be in her. Okay, I say this, but I got no gravity what I'm saying when I say this. I would have loved to get a girl like her back in her time, similar to my grandmother, and I would have loved to be married to one of my sisters back in that time.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
she knows
you don't have to date. Yeah, you don't have to date a woman
Oh,
that
you went out,
long.
brother.
See, guys
Say it
under
again?
the date, that's Hollywood shit. Oh, okay. Well, we've been dating for 2 years now, and I want to see if I really like him and all this other shit. Man, you know how much money you spend on this woman that you've been dating in 2 years? 2 years. I mean, my wife and I, we were dating. We were going out together for 2 years, but we wasn't together all those 2 years because my wife was in Japan. She would come back and stay with me for a few months at a time and fly
Okay. Well, actually, that shows me that she
back
really
to school
loves
to
you.
finish college.
Actually, she was a
So
lot
we
for
got to
you.
know each other next course. So if I was to put it all into perspective, the total time we spent before we got married actually was probably less than 6 months of just me
Mm,
letting her know. Yeah, because I mean, we were together. We met, and then a little bit over 2 years later, we were married. But that's because of the logistics of it all. Because she was in Japan, I was in the U.S., blah, blah, so we weren't able to see each other every day, right? So I would say total time we saw each other before we got married was probably about 6 months. If we could put, and probably even less than that. So what I'm saying is, you don't need all this time. See, you don't need all this time because, and like I like what you said. Get you the younger, the better. I don't care what people say. The younger, the better. You know why? Because what that does is, like, my wife and I didn't have kids for 5 years. My wife got married we got married on my wife's 23rd birthday. She was a 23-year-old young lady. She was beautiful, and she was happy because she beat the 25. Of course, she wasn't trying to beat it because she didn't have, but she was younger than 25.
yeah.
The Christmas cake thing was not her problem because she was already married to me, right? But then we waited 5 years. We tried, the last year before our son was born, about a year. But still, what that does, that gives you time to spend with your woman, and you can see and build your traits together as far as your parental traits together before you have your first child.
Right.
I mean, it's okay if you get married and bam, you're pregnant. That's good. That's all well and good
Well,
too.
well, I did say now. I don't know if you agree with this because this is kind of like my view. I've always said I'm not having a kid outside of marriage. I've always
No,
said
no,
that.
no, exactly. No kid outside of marriage. So what
That's
I'm saying,
crazy.
when you do marry your young wife, you give her a few years. You get those few years to know her. Get to know her,
Right.
right? And
Okay.
women should know that this is the best way to do it. Just think about it. You marry a 22, 23-year-old woman, and after 2 years, you say, you know what, babe, I don't think you're going to be good for kids, so we're going to go and get divorced. She's still only 25 years old. No, she can go to the next fool. You know what I'm saying? She's still young enough to produce offspring, if that was the case. Meaning you found out in those 2 years that she's not going to be a good mother to your children, right? But no woman really knows how good of a mother they're going to be until they actually have the children, of course. But you, as a man, have the right to get to feel how you feel about the woman that you're with. You have that right because she's got to be on your purpose. There is no question. She's got to be on your purpose. If she's not on your purpose, she ain't going to be around. So I like the fact that, I think every brother out there should be looking for somebody younger than him. Younger. To where she can produce. No man should go out with any woman that cannot produce children for him. That is not the way to be.
And I'll
Even if
say
you
this
don't
for
plan on
men that
having-
want children. I think it's specifically for men who do want children. And also, I'm agreeing with you because, like I said, most likely she might be 21, 25. I mean, I don't say 25. 21 to 24 for me, more so often like we first get together to get those years together. And then after that, I've gotten to know her and she has all cars and wife. I'm like, okay, let's go time.
Yep.
Specifically because, like I said, I want to get these. I'm make sure we have, like I said, make sure we have our kids really care and love each other, and families was important to us. Let's knock that out, and also things like that. Like I said, like two minimum for me, specifically that, and I'm cool at that point. And it's just like I got her, I got my kids, I got, like I said, my legacy lives on through everything that I've built with her, my hard work that I've done in my past, and also this. And that's how I'm seeing it as. And it's just like, and I'm not done yet. Well, I've got to teach this little boy that came in, or a little girl, like I said, about, well, first of all, my wife's gonna teach our little girl about what it means to be a woman, and also I got to teach our little boy about what it means to be a man. And trust me, I'm gonna be calling all, not just having influence from my father, me, you, my brothers, because they're fathers themselves. So I want to make sure he has a community of men around him that can really sculpt him. Because because I'll be honest, I'm not confident I can just do it all by myself in that sense. I'm like, this is all he needs. I'm like, no, he's gonna have to. I want him to be around numerous brothers that just have his best interests at heart, but also that can mentor him too.
Yes.
Because guess what? Guess what? Dad ain't the only one that can mentor you. Now you the one. Now I'm the one you listen to, and the rules you follow in the house. But it's not just that. You're like I said, my brother, aka Big Brother, like that. That's a role model for you right there. Also, my man right here, BSP, aka 364. That's a role model for you right here. What to look for. Like I said, positive, positive black reinforcement around the young man, so that he knows what the energy of a man is.
Yes.
And not even just that, I said positive black. Remember what I said. Positive black brothers around him. I ain't saying like gangsters, rappers, none of that crap. I'm talking about actual men who actually move in a way that is conclusive for a young man to know what it's like to walk in the footprints of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Because only you can relate to him.
Because you your own man, and you're gonna know as a man when you in your zone. You're gonna walk down the street proudly with your wife and your 3 beautiful children, holding hands, and you're gonna be a happy man. I tell you, I'm the happiest man in the world when I walk down the street with my family. When I'm with my family, I'm very happy with my family. You know, I didn't want.
Happy you have that too, by the way. Yeah, I said I'm happy you have that.
Thanks, brother. Because I didn't always want children, but when I met my wife,
change your mind.
I was like, wait a second. This woman is a sweetheart, man. I said, shoot, I can already see her taking care of my kids for me. You know what I mean? She don't complain about her kids. She gets up and she's tired sometimes. Because, you know, the new little babies, you know, mom will get a lot of sleep at first. But guess what? She doesn't. She's a soldier. She soldiers on, you know. And then she gets better. Then life gets easier for her. And then she gets used to the children. And then next you know, she's rolled. And that's the way it should be. You should never have to worry about your kids screaming in another room and the woman in there painting her nails and telling the baby to just be quiet while you at work. That ain't the way it's supposed to be. You hear that baby in there screaming, you up your ass, get up there and make sure that baby's okay. You paint that for it. That's women ain't supposed to be doing that. That is a woman that says, oh, I can be a wife, or I can be a mom. No, a mom and a wife will not do her nails when her kids in there crying.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yeah. A wife and
mother. That's not a, yeah. That's not the parties are all screwed up. I think that's the last year.
Brothers, there's nothing worse than a female that will not take care of their own kids, or that will treat their own kids, or that will kill their own kids. Those females should be put under the cell. There's nothing worse than a female that don't care about her own damn kids. And I'm a product of that because my mother didn't care about her own kids. There's nothing worse. I have no respect for women like that.
Like I said, I could definitely understand that. Like I said, it's just for me, it just shows what kind of person you are. If you're willing to do that, when you know you made children with somebody, and also it's your duty to take care of them, not simply just his, it's yours too. He's doing it the way that he has to, and you're doing it the way that you're supposed to too. Like I said, it's both of you, not just one. So more you get, you can just do that. But I won't. Trust me, I won't give them any pump because I consider them good people in general if they do stuff like that. Because like I said, sacrifice. Like I said, choices. As Kevin Samuels once said, choices and trade-offs. And that's one of the trade-offs you get that comes with that. Ladies, trade-off I get, like I said, I can't party like I used to or whatever. I don't party as an example. But it's all about my kids, my lady, our kingdom that we build. Simple enough.
Yeah, I like to give you an example of a lady that I don't think is worthy. I mean, yeah, she can be a vice president all day long, but she can't be a mom, even though she's a stepmom. It's easy to be a stepmom because you never had those kids. You never went through the 9 months with the pregnancy. Now, granted, I get some women can't have kids. I don't know about her situation, but no, she obviously didn't want them because she didn't have them now. So, but I think with that said, her being in the position she's in, she's not helping out the cause because she's not really into being a mom. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I would rather have Kamala Harris. I'd rather see a woman up there that was a mom as a vice president, that mothered children. You know what I'm saying? They would have a better inside take on what it means to raise a family and the respect that you have to give men. Because I got an impression this administration is not valuing men the way it should be. And that's a problem for me and my son.
Right.
Because I need men to be valued here. And unfortunately in our country, men are not valued. So if a man is not valued, then how the hell are we going to raise a decent family? Because to give you an example, that's what I'm saying, brothers. You got to know the ropes. You got to get yourself mentally prepared for that. You also have to know what you're going up against. And what you're going up against is a bunch of immigrants getting ready to come in. They just went ahead and signed that H-1B to where now that not only can the guy or woman come into work, their husband, their spouse can work too. So that just took you out of the picture. That just made life difficult for the black male because we all know immigration hurts the black male. Now, I'm not against immigration. What I'm against is the lack of opportunities that it causes the black male. Because that's why we have so many problems in this country today. Black males have been taken out of jobs, have been pushed away from jobs that we should be doing. That woman should be at home taking care of your kids. You should be out there doing the work, making that money. That's more work. That's more jobs for black men. But a lot of black men are being faced or being denied opportunities because this country's always looking for more people to take his place. And that's another problem that we have. That's why, I don't know, Jay, if you saw this article where they're talking about a lot of younger men like Generation X, they can't get days, they can't raise families because
yeah.
They're not making more money, man, because they don't have the money. It's all about that money.
Yeah.
It's all about the opportunity. The reason why they're not, because they're in the middle of a situation where women are getting all the work and they're not getting hired. So how they gonna feel like a man if they can't even take care of the family or any family with themselves? No, she should be at home in that house. When she get married, she should be home out taking care of those kids, and he should be out there making that money.
I agree.
Come on, you shut up.
You should be home. Yeah.
And me, that's the way it is. Yep.
Because I said, to me, like I said, I believe in old school ways. Because like I said, I'm 91. Like I said, I believe in a lot of old school traditional things that men should do. Like I said, I think men should go out there and make the bread specifically, and just make the bacon pretty much, and just make sure that they have they take off the role of their quote unquote, I guess, lady not having to work, so that she gets to take care of the kids more often than not, at least before they're ripe and ready to go to school, particularly. And I'm talking about when they're of age, of course.
Yeah.
And after that, it's just a matter of you both of y'all picking them up. Sorry, I said y'all, them up. But that's what it really boils down to. Like I said, I think men have just been bogged down in society now, at least by media, all that nonsense, and which I hate. Like I said, because I don't participate in the goddamn circus, because I call this shit a carnival.
Yeah.
Because I'm not part of anyone's carnival, anyone's nonsense, anyone's beef, any of this man versus woman bullshit. Like I tell you, I don't give a fuck about any of that. All I care about is that I'm up and out of here. I've worked my ass off to get the hell out of here. When I have, I'm still gonna keep working, but in a much peaceful mindset environment for myself, because that's what I want for my mind and my body. Because like I said, I'm not trying to give my body out for particularly this place where I live in. I don't particularly care for that. I'm a hard worker, yes, and I'm willing to get things done, yes. Many things irritate me, yes, but the thing is, I always gotta remind myself is like no one knows us understanding. No one knows any of that. You're a guy. You're meant to suck it up and do all this shit. I'm like, no, you're right. That is right. But guess what? You're wrong in that sense, because I know how other men feel, particularly, and I know how we have to have no excuses but knock shit out. I'll do that. Don't worry. But what am I gonna have you do? Is thinking that you can use me and bottle me up and make me a drum. That just shit is not happening.
No, because what they do is they get out there and they start working, and then they start, acting like they the boss because they got the job, right? Or they're making more money than you. They might be making one more dollar than you a month, and then they thinking they did, and they think they got the right to cheat on you and to run things the way they want to run. Because it's funny how this country works. They all seem like they want to be men. Nobody wants to be women. What's beautiful? Being a woman is beautiful. What's being a woman? Women are beautiful when they're women. I don't understand why they keep thinking they gotta be a man. No, the man, I'm the man. Like that movie. Remember that movie Any Given Sunday? All man said, he said, bone, muscle, joint. He said gonorrhea, diarrhea, cold you, bone muscle joint me. That's how I gotta be. You have your role in this world. They have their role in this world, and we have our role in this world. And our roles are constantly being beat down and harassed and questioned here in this country. That's why you have the right. You have the fight between the right and the left. The right, they want to try to keep the man in the fold, right? But the problem I got with the right is the religious right. I'm not into the religious right bullshit. You know, the left, they want to shake it up and make it whatever it's gonna be. I'm not into that shit either. So you can classify me as a moderate. You know.
Exactly. I'll say this. I think it's just a bunch of nonsense all going around. It's monkey see, monkey do nonsense.
Yup.
And this is just me. Because I actually maybe the first time you hear me actually say this, because I've told the people this. I said, listen, I personally don't care if the birth rate goes down in America, because, like, listen, nobody here is worth getting married to. No one here is worth freaking, like, at least for me specifically, from where I'm going, nobody can come with me, because right now, like, I feel like I would just have a headache next to me all the time, and I just can't do that, because none of these people are like saying to me. It's just, I can have a conversation with maybe like one person blowing the moon, but some of these just people they don't operate in reality for me, and I can't do it. So I can understand why a lot of population is going to go low, and I personally don't care. To me, this is the fault of not you, brother. When I say this, I'm talking about this is the fault of people that just let this shit get out of hand and just let it grow into something else. Previous generations, I understand they play a hand in it in some aspect. They definitely do, but I blame both sides, men and women. I blame both particularly. I'll never ever put anything solely on just one side, because I think there's a balance. So I think it's on both ends, and also what we as men have allowed. Like, you've allowed them to degrade men, let them make them a joke, nonsense, all that stuff. Where positive, I call it positive masculinity, positive reinforcement around brothers to be strong again, to feel great about themselves, and also to be the best they can be. That the way of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, like perfect examples of strong black brothers, things like that, is what we should be trying to emulate as. Not be. Here's what I mean when I say that. I mean, like, be brothers in suits, be about our business, and technically, I want to say this: those people who emulate those things are already Hollywood stars. Are black brothers up there right now in Hollywood? Mm-hmm. Some of them do embody that, but not a lot of them do. And the way I see it, we need to make sure it needs to be the majority, not minority.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying. So that brother can be on top, in a sense. And I'm talking about educated brothers like my brother RP. You're already one of them. So but you, because you already got a W, you already won. But I'm talking about like brothers like me, my brother Vertus, things like that. Like I really do want brothers to win specifically. I do want them to, but I also want them to be in the right space of not being, what's the word, corrupted. Similar to when I talk about a young boy. I'm not going to camera too. Similar to when I talk about a young boy, I know we always now BSP. You would agree that our little girls, like it's up to us to protect their innocence, right? I also agree with that with the young man, the boy that comes in. He has innocence as well, and also don't forget it can be tainted and turned into something ugly if left unchecked or not covered under protection of a man. And a lot of people wouldn't agree with that. I'm not saying he's a girl. I'm talking about he has innocence when he's first born. And it can be tainted and like I said, turned and twisted into something ugly if we don't pay attention to that. Yeah. If you just leave him be. That's what I'm saying. And I don't allow anybody to mess with my little boy. That's just not gonna happen.
You're right, because what I noticed, like I'll give you an example, man. The other day I was out there, well, not the other day, a few months ago, my daughter had a wellness check, and I'm holding her in my arms, and I'm standing there with my wife, and the receptionist, white lady, was like right there doing the paperwork, and she was on the phone and everything, and then she's doing paperwork, and I'm holding my daughter in my hand. I'm like, you look at your little beautiful self, because she's beautiful. I was like, look at your little beautiful self, you know. And this woman, I guess she didn't like the way I said it. When she started trying to interfere and by saying, "Oh, hi," like, like she already said hi, but then she trying to interfere again. I just kind of walked out the door away from her because I was thinking to myself, "Look, bitch, I'm talking to my daughter. I don't need you to get involved with me and between me and my family." They like to do that. You see them, you walking out with your family, they be smiling at you. You don't even know these fools. This fool smiling at me. You smiling at me for? I don't know you. I'm trying to hang out with my son, or they make comments. Yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, tell him you're right. I didn't ask you to say nothing to my kid. I don't need you with your positive reinforcement. I know how to raise my children.
Exactly.
I hate that. I hate when people do that. That's why I ignore them. I don't even say nothing to them. I just ignore them. Like that ain't there. They'll still keep talking, and I'll be just talking to my son and walking away at the same time because they don't want to come up on me. Because they come up on me, I gotta protect my family, right? So you don't want to come up.
You do what you gotta do. Exactly.
Now you put yourself in a situation where you're gonna get hurt because I will hurt somebody coming up against my family.
Yeah, I'm like, I go to 0 to 100 on if I touches especially family that I created literally with my lady and my little kids. I'm gonna go on. Like I'm not gonna have that restraint for that. I just don't. I'm not going to have
no, because people get hurt or killed. They can't come back. They ain't coming back, right? Yeah. So your family is gotta be your precious cargo. You gotta protect them people. You gotta protect your family members. But bro, I'm sorry. You had some other questions for me, man. I didn't want to get off.
No.
No.
I think honestly, we technically are on the topic because I brought up young boys because we're technically a little bit talking about it right now because I think we were in like about 46 minutes and then we went into that. Don't worry, we actually did it, guys. If you didn't pay attention, we went from marriage literally to talking about the young development of a young man. And I'm bringing up things for that, but we're already talking about it. But I'm gonna add more to it. Because I said surround the young man with a bunch of positive male reinforcement brothers that we know of guys that can be mentors to him, specifically not just his dad. Dad is A1. That is the template. That's how I see it. That you're the template. Everything you taught him, he follows off that. Now after that, it's up for him to learn from some other men, specifically who has his best interest, which men you will let your son be around. And also, if he joins football or anything like that, like he has a good coach that has his good interests, things like that, to toughen him up, things like that. Even though that's a little bit of your job to start it off, like put him in the sport specifically. That's how he toughens up. That's how it happened for me. I toughened up right off that. But I'm thinking that because we touched up on that part. I'm gonna say this. I think for a young man, if you the journey to work on your, I want to say this because that is an important topic. I think for us, working on yourself is important. Make sure you are in the right state of mind to be married, and make sure you work on yourself before you meet any woman, particularly because you want to make sure you're in possession of all your marbles and you don't have a short fuse. Because God, that's easier said than done coming from me. It takes a lot of willpower for me. But but like the atmosphere that you're in, particularly if you're in a peaceful atmosphere, you want to ruin that. You want to make sure that you can blend in. You can blend into a peaceful environment. You want to make sure that you can just relax. If you're always jumping uppity, then you probably shouldn't be there. You probably wouldn't be in the rowdy one because that's just more your speed. But the reason why I'm saying this, guys, is because I think it's very important for you to work on yourself before you start speaking to ladies, not simply just the financial aspect. You got to there's the physical and mental thing you got to do.
Yep.
You have to make sure that your mental aerospace is okay, that you're fine, that you're not suffering from any trauma, any of that nonsense. Go seek physical help. Like I said, I've been to therapy. I've had a counselor. I've had all that. And I had a lot of anger as a kid, y'all. I had a lot of anger. Because I was just so mad at a lot of stuff. And yes, I was on pills at one point. Not on drugs, guys. I'm talking about like prescribed stuff. I'm not on it now, trust me. It's been so long since I had that. That was after I was in high school. And it just helped relax me. It was Adderall. Yeah, that was one of them.
It's nothing wrong with getting therapy. Nothing wrong with getting prescribed medication to take care of things.
Yeah,
Too many
your
people
well-being.
ignore their mental health.
Right.
They work on the
It
physical.
helps sometimes. Like when you take those things. I'm not now, guys. When I say that, it doesn't mean you're dumb or lesser of a man. I don't want anybody to think that. It takes, first of all, a real man knows what he has to work on, what he has to get taken care, what he has to take care of, and you're more of a man when you confront it and face it, and not be in denial. You cover it up, then you're less than that. I hate to have to say that, but I want to be real. The first part to solving a problem is acknowledging that there is one. That's number one. Acknowledging it, getting help for it, and then 3, confronting it.
Yep.
And when I say confront it, that means after you get the person help, they're going to tell you to confront that. You come face to face with it, actually. And then you improve on each situation of that, each situation of the quote unquote thing that you have. And as you keep working on it, it gets better and better to a point it's not bad. It's like you can be in a situation, you can get out of that bubble, you can actually walk around and have actual conversations with other people, but be around a woman and not make her feel weird or awkward, and talk to her just right without having some sense of like anchor on you. Because trust me, I've seen brothers wrapped in chains in their heads when it comes to some stuff. And listen, I'm not clowning them, I'm making fun of them. Some of those cats I know got help, and I'm glad they did, because they seem much more happier right now than they were before. And it's just like, it's good. I'm not taking any drugs. I just feel good. I feel good right now. For the first time in a long time, I feel good. Like, I feel like this problem has been solved. Like I said, it never completely goes away, but it's under control, and it's not what's that? It's not like a lingering thing. It's like I said, you have better control in it than you did before. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with a man admitting that he needs help, but you don't. Not that to his lady. I'm talking about, you keep that to yourself. You do that privately. You go see the professional help. You work on it day in and day out, and you're only done to when the therapist says you're done. Okay. I mean that. The reason why I'm saying that, because they have your best interest at heart. Try to help you combat the problem. Yeah. And plus, it can make you feel better about the situation once you've done it. Go ahead, brother.
You can't be afraid. Like myself too, man. I going through some situations where with the PTSD thing, man. Being in the military, being in the war, that's a constant battle, man. Yeah. You know, depression doesn't have a face. You know, you got to deal with. You got to deal with a lot of different things, man. But you overcome them. You overcome them, but you recognize that you need help, and you go seek that help, and you take care of. Nobody in this world is going to be considered the perfect human being.
Yeah, it's impossible. If you did that, you're a fucking narcissist.
Yeah, you're something's wrong with you. Somebody come up to me and tell me I'm perfect.
Yeah, they say that. Look, there's a face on my make. What? Yep. Like, well, you're perfect? Like, yeah, okay. So you must be God.
Yeah, give me 1 second, brother. Give me 1 second.
Oh no, go ahead, brother. You're good. But yeah, guys, I gave that example just now. Not to BSP, but it was just an example I was using in general. When somebody says, "Oh, you think you're God," when you say like, "Oh, I'm perfect," I'm like, "No, that's crazy." No, you're not. You have flaws just like any other human, and it's up to you to work on those flaws and improve. Not magically, they magically go away. No, that's not how it goes. Because you're trying to seek a shortcut at that point. But guys, we have one more topic we're going to talk about, and then after that, we are going to end this. We're quote unquote going to end the stream. So other than that, just wait till my man BSP comes back. I get Tokyo 64. Guys, I want to let you guys. I'll give you guys an announcement later on. Once we get to closing. Hold on, guys. Give us Give me a second. Hold on.
All right, all right. Back, brother. Back.
All right, guys. Thanks for taking that little break with us.
My bad, man. I had to check a package, man. I seen my man come in.
Oh,
My
that's
wife is
cool.
cooking dinner for me right now, so we dinner probably be ready in about 20, 30 minutes or so. But I
Don't
had,
worry.
had to take care of this package.
Oh no, don't worry, brother. Like I said, we're gonna end this in like 10 minutes. Don't worry, because I think I have like one more question for you, and I think we're gonna end it there, particularly. Um, okay, let me ask you, because I think we touched on it a little bit, but maybe not, but not all the way. I'm gonna say this right now. Is it so? What do you think? Do you think most men should just build up their money, build up their money, stay single, and just kind of just live it up, or should they just build up their money, um, and seek? Well, I say seek marriage earlier, but try to build a legacy.
Okay, so here's where I've lived in 4 countries, and I've seen how men marry. What I've noticed around the world outside the West is men will not marry unless they have their foundation built. So, for example, a lot of countries require what they call a dowry in order for you to marry the wife. So basically, the way it works, I know, like in Saudi Arabia, for example, in order for a man to marry a woman, because in Saudi they don't date. They really don't date each other. They
You don't
just
date
you
at
just
all.
here's how they no the way you hear about it. See, because when you come to when your sister knows all the girls in her school because she's the only one that sees the girls without their buyer in their full flesh and blood, right?
Yeah.
So and the mom. So what happens is the mom and the sister are the ones that's out there actually looking for your mate for you, and the brother is out there looking for the mate for the wife. So what normally happens is the mom will come home or the sister will come home and say, "Hey, so and so's really cute. You should really, go after her." And the mom have to sign off on it. The mom signs off on it, and then you get to meet. Everything is all good. Then you say you want to marry this woman, but then that means that you've already got enough. Like the guy, you have to give like a certain amount of sheep or cattle or whatever the case may be to the father of the wife, right? Of the potential wife.
Correct.
That's called the dowry. So what happens is when you marry, the father of the daughter is getting a little bit wealthier because they're getting a dowry from the man who wants to marry the daughter. Now, with that comes strings attached. Strings come attached. I'm giving an example, brothers. And I'm not saying that I'm condoning this behavior, but I'm just going to give you an example of what my experience was in Saudi Arabia, what I've seen. So here it is, a Saudi. He's up in went on business trip in the military. He went TDY. We call it TDY. He has 2 wives. Right? He came back. The young wife he was complaining, hey, the old wife don't want to listen to me. She keeps telling me, boss me around, blah, 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 right? So he goes and talks to the older wife, and he says, what happened? This is his first wife. He said, what happened? What was going on? So she explained to her that this woman is being lazy. She don't want to do what she got to do. So you know what he did? He called the second wife's father and said, hey, your daughter is not acting like a wife. So the father says, okay, let her come back home. So he sends her back home to him. But keep in mind, the father got a lot of stuff from this man.
They did.
And then he literally beat this woman for 2 weeks. And then he called the guy up and said, okay, your wife is ready for you now. Now, that's not, you know what I'm saying? But that's how they do it in Saudi. I'm not condoning that. I don't think that.
Yeah, none of us here on this panel are condoning that.
None of us condoning that. Exactly. And I don't agree with that. But I'm just saying that that's one culture I've seen in Japan when a man won't get married unless he's ready to get married financially. And that's why they have such a problem right now with marriage, because a lot of the young Japanese men aren't making enough money to support a family.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
It's a financial issue.
Throughout the world, men want to make sure that they are financially set before they get married. That's all I want to say.
And BSP, I do agree with you. I think that before you get married, you should be financially set. Because for me, I'm not bringing any debt, no nothing. Like I'm making all that shit up before I get it done. I'm like, I got it. I'm like, oh, I'm free. Now
you're not bringing in no debt, and you're not bringing her in to pay off her debt either.
Exactly. I'm not paying her debt either. I said that before. I'm not paying no one's debt. That's for them to pay.
Yeah.
I pay mine. So, yeah. Wally, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, you guys? What it is?
What's going on, Wally?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Brother, I listened to a little bit of the stream, man. I think that, it was a couple weeks. You had the brother on the stream.
Oh, yeah, you talking about Mr. He Said?
Yeah, I think that was right, Jay. That was
He said, yeah. That's the
one. When y'all talking about the sharing women thing, man, which ain't going to happen. But brothers who want to share their own woman, man, can you believe this? That ain't even right, man.
Oh yeah. Just because I'm actually glad you commented on it, because you said hello, brothers, and then you left a comment on today where people.
Yeah, because what happened was I got pulled away by my fam. That's what I'm saying, man. When you're married, man, you got 2 kids and a baby. My little girl started to talk now, right? So then she just talked.
No, I agree. No. I told brother, I'm like, you can't. I can't even like when I get in your position. I'm pretty sure I can't like join things and all that. Like I got 2 kids, bro, and I got a lady to take care of, so I'm good right now. So I can't really join at this time. So I understand your position. I got a brother he has $2 now.
Oh, Wally?
No, not Wally.
No.
No, not Wally. Wally ain't married. I'm talking about my brother currently who's married right now. He has 2 little girls. His second girl came last year. and then he said, like, I feel outnumbered, man. I got like 3 women, bro. I got my wife, then I got my first daughter, and then my second daughter. He said, I feel outnumbered right now, bro.
Oh yeah, of course, brother.
Yeah, I got my own little boy and stuff like that. Well, and then I said he needed a boy or something. But he just like, yo, I feel outnumbered. At least if it was like I got a boy, it'd be like me and my little man, my little girl, and then my lady. It's like, you know, balanced out even. But it just, he feels outnumbered like a motherfucker.
Yo.
That's why he wants me. No. That's why he wants me to have a kid, so I can go through some bullshit that he went through with having his kid. Cause like both, because, you know, he's still married to the same lady and had kids with both of them. So, you know, things like that. But he always makes that joke at my ass. I can't wait till you get to this shit, bro. Because that's gonna drive your ass crazy. He's trying to spite me, but but things like that. So I understand, brother. Like, don't feel bad at all. Like, you trust me. Spending time with kids probably the best thing ever.
They don't really drive you crazy, man. What they do is, you know, you got to set a precedence, man. You have to set the disciplinary stages. You know, you got to go through the evolution of them. Like my daughter right now at 17 months, you know, she's starting to get a little stubborn on us. You know, she don't get what she wants. She get upset. But see, the way I handle it is when she get upset with daddy just put her down. I put her down, let her go run around. All right, because my wife will cuddle her and stuff. But when she mad, daddy put her down. Like I did my little boy. You get mad, all right, daddy put your butt down. Now, check it out. My 10-year-old, when I talk, I say something. Guess what? He listens to what I say, right? He know I ain't gonna put up with it. See, the kids know. The kids are not stupid. They know who they can go to and who they can't go to, who they can deal, how they can treat. They just trying to figure out how they get to treat these strangers to them, or these new people in their life. How they get to treat them, right? So my daughter, when she get a little bit older, she can be like, oh yeah, daddy ain't the man to be sitting up there throwing tantrums on, because daddy ain't gonna put up with that. You know what I'm saying? Daddy
And I will say, people emulate anything that you do. Like, don't emulate, like I said, so if you show them a positive relationship between a man and a woman, they're gonna emulate that. Like,
exactly.
Like your son is gonna act more like you, and then your little girl is gonna act more like, you know, your lady. Yeah,
she gonna act like my wife. She gonna know that when she around men are not gonna tolerate that kind of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, as she get older, right now it's just baby shit. But you know what I'm saying?
She's baby now. You got plenty of time. But even then, I would say I would always, at least for me, when I've always thought about it, when I'm in these situations, and I've always been having dreams of it more often than not. Whereas like how I interact with my lady, I think more often than not how I would do it is always be positive on my lady. Always like show the dynamics of what we're doing. You know, me and her mom, and then they'll respond to it. Because children actually do understand roles. Yeah. Once they teach them fundamentals and they'll see that, like I said, they're paying attention. Like I said,
yeah, they do.
They pick up on it real quick.
Because when my wife, when she get mad, she like to throw shit on the floor. My daughter, she lets throw little shit on the floor. But when she get mad and she look at me, she don't do that. So she already learned daddy don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? They don't work with daddy. So they work with mommy. Mama gonna say something, but daddy, I'm just looking at you like, okay, what you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'm not mad. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you know, because that's how I want her to understand how men are. Men ain't gonna sit up here and put up with your shit. When you get your future husband, he's not gonna have to put up with that. You gonna have to put up with his shit more than you gotta put up with yours. See, so I'm raising my daughter to be wifeable, right? She's gonna have her career. She's gonna reach her dreams. But she's still going to be wifeable. I have no issues with a woman being a rocket scientist and a mom and a wife. I have no issues.
I had a problem with that. Like I said, I would prefer my daughter to have some education. That's something. Have the education person. Like I said, because I always said, listen, if people get twisted when we think we want dumb people like for partners, like y'all dumb. I'm like, sorry, y'all dumb for saying that. And I am going to say that. I do mean to insult. I'm sorry. Y'all dumb for saying that, and the reason why is like, if I wanted a freaking dumb person, I would just get a robot.
Yeah,
just get a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
But we don't want that. We want women. We want genuine female ladies with their own personality and just general niceness.
Yeah, because you see a woman that's a doctor in Nigeria.
And of course, I have her opinion. Yeah, I do, and I care about her opinion specifically. Yeah. So it's like when we having one of those real conversations where like I need the input of my wife. like Jay, you got everything, but this is one of the times where you can't. Like, no lady. This is where your lady comes in. I'm like, all right, babe. What we going? I'm not saying what we gonna do. I said, if you're more knowledgeable in the situation than I am, how we gonna tackle this?
Yeah.
What do you think we should do? And like I said, whatever you tell me, like I said, I'll do the research on it like I need to, and we'll knock that shit out. It's gonna be that type of conversation, just like that. No ifs, ands, or buts, just things like that. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because people just think like we want to slave. I'm like, stop that. Where does that come from? Like to me, it's like you got some trauma when you say some shit like that. That's some stuff either from your mom or from some nonsense brainwash shit that you might have heard. In my mind, whenever I hear that, I'm like, yeah, it's like none of you belong to yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You all sound like cultists at this point for me. And you're just regurgitating the same thing, and you don't have your own thoughts. Like brother, you actually have your now. Now I understand some where it comes from, but I understand you are thinking on your own and actually coming up with points of your own. Like I said, I think we all say feminine. Of course, we all say that. That's nothing new. But the thing is, for me, you actually have a background to actually and a template to fall off of, to where you started to where you are now, and even now it's constantly evolving, where you're actually giving me different points than most people would ever give me. Mm-hmm. So I think it goes ahead to say that yes, we have to. I'll say this: we have to have our own thoughts, but also our own experiences are going to help us, because, like I said, for young men. You're gonna know what he goes through personally, because you were a boy at one point before you grew up to be a man.
Yep.
Like I'm talking about fully grown adult, because I know we say young men could be men, but they're not full-grown men yet, and until they've gone through maturity. I'm talking about through the mental growth, and that's what they really need. Like I said, because I'll tell my son, like, there's only so much I can teach you, son. After that, it's up to you. It's up to you to cultivate and shape yourself into the man you want to be now, off of everything that you've been taught. So, and that's why I say up to you. Either you'll take what you're being given, or you'll fluff that. So
yeah,
so that's how I see that as. Because there's one famous line that I want to tell you, because brother, I want to let you speak after this. Because anybody who's ever seen Game of Thrones, I've always told there's one line that Tyrion Lannister said. He says, we can create an empire that can last for decades. Or we can fade into nothing, like the Targaryens did. He said, I don't need you to become the man, not yesterday or back then, but that man now.
Yep.
That line resonated with me. Well, I'm like, you have to be that person. Wally, you wanted to say something?
I mean, I just got in here, so you know.
Oh no, we were just talking about the development of young men and how you would raise them.
Oh, well, I mean, from my point of view, from my end, as being a content creator talking about the wealth concept, I mean, if men are gonna, younger men, especially around my age and below, if we're gonna be looking to build forward, we definitely got to build a strong mindset. That's what I'm selling. We got to build a strong mindset for the future. Because being a little too sensitive or not being as focused, you're going to find yourself really lost within this world one way or the next. And, life be moving fast. You won't even know. You'll be in the next month by the time it's next week. So, you always got to stay ahead of the game. Always keep your ears to the next, news out there, to the next, things, because you may miss something and it may pass you by and then you're wondering, well, wait a minute, how am I gonna, get past this? And the reality is, by the time you try to get past it, you're gonna be late behind everybody else. Mm-hmm. So playing catch up ain't good for you all the time. You always gotta make sure you stay on the game.
I agree.
Yep. Yep. Because I mean, and that's the thing, man. You gotta see. right now the problem that we have is we're not building enough strong brothers out there because a lot of brothers are being raised by single moms. And I give you another example, man, of this before I go, man. I was gonna tell you this. I think you might have heard this, Jay. So, this brother, man, that I'm kind of disappointed in this brother right now. And if he sees this stream, he's gonna reach out to me, and he needs to do that because I helped this brother out in the summer, man. Last summer, he reached out to me, found me on IP stream, and he said he wanted to go to Japan.
Oh,
And so he was all desperate, man. I said, all right, well, I used to work for this company called Nova, and I said they're not the best company in the world. But he did his research supposedly, and he found out they wasn't, but he still wanted to go. I said, okay, cool. So he did all his paperwork. I mean, he did everything he needed to do. He was listening to me what I was saying. Next, he had an interview. Next, he got the job. Next, he's on his way to Japan, right? Well, he get to Japan, and he got the job, and he was training and everything. And I was like, he got there, I think, like the beginning of December. When I got back from Japan, me and my family got back from Japan the beginning of January. A week later, this brother got fired from his job, and because he violated a contract. Breach. You breach a contract. You're not supposed to be giving your contact information to students. So, and he never really did
give him his what?
His contact information to students. You don't give contact information to students.
Oh, to students? Oh, yeah.
You never do that. And so, make a long story short, he went through 20 interviews after that. He didn't get near one job. He ended up back in London. But see, what got me about this brother is that I was helping him out, man. I was spending time with this brother, schooling him, and then he had, like, I think his last month in Japan, he only touched base with me like once. After a while, he just didn't want to do anything, didn't contact me. He'd been back to England over a month, and he only contacted me one time and said, "Oh yeah, okay, I get it," and that was it. Because I told him, I said, based on, I said, "Look, brother, you failed in Japan. You were not committed to Japan." I said, "You failed." I said, "You need to learn from that." I was being straightforward with the brother. The brother hasn't reached out to me, even though he said, "Okay, I understand." So I'm about ready to cut the brother off because I don't appreciate, and I'm blasting this out there because I don't appreciate when I help a brother out and I spend all my time with this brother, and then you don't have the decency to at least reach out to me once in a while and say, "Hey man, I'm trying to do this, trying to do that." He's reaching out for me and Theo for all kind of advice, but he didn't want to do things on his own. And that's not right. That don't resonate with me. You're gonna get out there and you're gonna do your thing. He was expecting me to do my research for him. I said, "Man, I don't need a job. I'm not looking for a job. You are."
Yeah.
All I can do is point you in the right direction, but I'm not gonna sit there and do your research for you. And that's what I'm getting at. Brother got to stand up, like my daddy used to say, and I know I can say it on the screen if they don't mind. A man needs to grab his balls and stand up and take care of his own business on his own. That's what my daddy used to always tell me, and that worked. He said sometimes you're gonna do things that's gonna be hard for you. You're not gonna want to do it. But he said, as a man, you got to grab your shit and you got to get up there and get on and go and do your thing and take care of your business. And this man was not ready to do that. He's being raised by a single mom, and I see the difference because I see a brother that just got to Japan from England who has a daddy and a mom, and he's doing very well. He's in Tokyo teaching at the same company this brother was teaching at, but he's doing very well.
It was the same company. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. There's a big difference I know between a man being raised. I was raised by a single mom, but I learned how to be a man. My daddy, fortunately, me and my daddy had a good relationship, so that helped me out a lot. Brothers will turn into men once we figured out what the problem was when we was being raised by single mom. Single women are only teaching you how to take care of women. They're not teaching you how to take care of yourself. They're not teaching you how to be a man. Basically, his actions, even though he's trying to portray the opposite, classify him as a mama's boy because he was doing women things. He wasn't researching. He wasn't doing his due diligence to make sure that he was able to secure employment in Japan. He ended up going back to London. So I just wanted to bring that up. That was a classic example of a brother that wasn't supported or didn't have the background that he needs to be a strong man.
Go ahead, Wally.
Well, what's after that?
I mean, I saw your mic move. I thought you wanted to say something to that.
Oh no! I wasn't going to say nothing to that.
I'm going to say
that's pretty explanatory.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory on that one, and I agree with BSP. Because for me, I tell people like, listen, I got habits, but the difference for me is I try to I do my best to try 100% to commit to my studying. Like for example, I'm getting ready to take a 2 week 2 weeks away from YouTube so I can do my studying because I haven't studied in a whole week, and I want to make up for that by putting in more work and just make sure that I commit fully to this. If I'm gonna, like I said, if I'm gonna do this, I want to commit all the way. I want to make sure I do the studying, which means getting away from other stuff. I gotta ignore other people. That means being away from YouTube. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. Like people understand. I can make the sacrifices. It ain't hard. I'll do them. People don't hear from me in about a year or two. I'm like, I'm doing my thing, y'all. I'm following what I want to. No, I'm following what I put my blood, sweat, and tears into. You might hear from me like probably like 3 years later, but right now I'm like no. Because like I said, because this is so secondary to what I got to what I'm gonna to what I'm doing primary. Because it's important to me and it's what I love, and then I wanna make sure I commit to this all the way, and not do what that cat did. And that's even hearing that story just like motivated me even further not to fuck up. And really
you gotta be focused, man. You as a man, you gotta be focused. I mean, he's sitting up there telling people, "Oh man, I don't want to apply for this job. They want me to do too much work to try to get this little money." And I told him, I said, "Man, you're not gonna make that much money when you first get to Japan."
You did say that. You told us that, yeah.
He listened to me when I said get an apartment. He got his own apartment. He was on the road, but then he decided that he wanted to just be a selective listener. He didn't want to do the hard work. That's what I'm saying. This man didn't want to put in the hard work. He wanted to take it easy. Oh, that's too hard. Oh, I don't think I can do that. You already doubting yourself as a man. You mean you don't think you could do that? Brothers don't understand. And I always try to tell brothers, you know how hard it is being a man? The man, you stand on that football field and somebody run up to you. Ray Lewis is running up on your ass and he hit you as hard as a rock. That's a man. That's waking you up. Now that's what it's like being a man. When you won't run through your issue, you won't get those hits. But you got to be able to stand up and take those hits and get back up and say, all right, you hit me hard. And then you come back and hit him harder than he hit you.
Right.
And that's how life is, man.
Yeah. That's how because I tell people that, like BSP, I told you earlier, I beat myself up a lot of stuff, but I do it in order to push myself even further. It's not giving me stress. It's like reinforcing it. Because sometimes you got to slap yourself in the face to like really wake up, like Jay, wake up.
He let himself down. He let his family down, and he damn sure let his ancestors down. I'm not going to my ancestors when I pass away from this world and apologize to them for nothing. I'm not going to make them be mad at me when I get up there with my ancestors. Or when I get to where they at. I'm not going to let them. That's what I'm saying. You represent your ancestors. You represent people who suffered for you, who picked cotton, or who was oppressed by the white man for you to get to where you at. And you gonna sit there and disrespect. He gonna sit there and disrespect his ancestors on that because he did not represent himself and his family the proper way as a man, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's a lot of brothers out there that don't understand that.
And BSP, I want to say this right now. I agree with you. And the thing is, you're very military based, like I said, like my father. So everything you say, I get. Like I said, it's like a freaking like 10 HUD order. So it's like anytime you feel that I'm lacking anytime you feel that I might like you kind of like, hey, you can get a little sluggish. Like pick it up, bro. Like I said, always feel the need to give me that reinforcement. It's cool. That accountability, like I said, that pushes me and drives me to be better. Because men really need that, and we respect his. So bluntness, directness, and not aggressiveness, but pretty much the progressiveness of someone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very much needed. So thank you so much. And also thank you for being here so we could talk about this because like I said, this is the manhood part we're talking about. I'm glad we knocked it out because this is something like it's not a joke and not a game. Because I personally am not going to disrespect you, Theo, or any of you cats, because like I said, I want to listen to this. Like I said, I got a little habit, just get off course a little bit, but I always come back and knock things out. But when it comes to work, like I said, that's when it comes to like things outside of my work. When it's just work at work, that's the only thing I have. But I'll be honest, I think I'm probably more of a workaholic than I am anything else. I might be real.
You ain't gotta apologize for being the man, brother. That's your own way. That's part of being a man is respecting another man's, the way he do things, the way he carry himself. I get on men when I see the potential there. Cause us men, if we don't care about a man, we ain't gonna say nothing about it. We just
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right,
Leave
man,
him
go
up
on
to
and do your thing,
himself. Yeah.
But when you put time and effort into helping the brother out, and the brother don't even acknowledge or don't even show you the decency to say, hey man, look, I haven't gotten no time to you because I've been dealing with some shit, taking care of this or that, the other. That's all well and good. But don't let a man take all his time from his family to help you get a damn job, and then you gonna turn around and not take a job that you should have taken just because you didn't want to put in the extra hard work after we done got to the damn 20-yard line, and all you gotta do is do a goddamn bomb in the end zone, and he got his wide ass open on the bootleg, and you still sitting up there dropping the damn ball. That's how it is.
Yeah, and the thing is, how you explained it, I think he's winning half-assed. Is what it is. Because for me, I'm gonna say this right now. I think when I do get there, yeah, I'm gonna be a kid in a candy store, but I think I have to put that on hold because I'm still working.
Well, when you get there, you're not gonna have those problems. You ain't gonna have those problems.
Well, because BSP, if I lax a little, you get complacent and get lazy. I'll be like, let me just keep it in worker mode a little bit. So just so I can get used to everything, not slouch, be on top of everything. Because the way I'm thinking about it, if I slouch off for a minute, then I'm gonna fuck up. That's how I've always saw things. If I slack up on anything, and I don't know if that's a bad trait of mine or what.
But you got enough foundation, because I know you're not gonna be the kind of brother that's gonna get to Japan after all this hard work you done put in and mess around and leave. To me, when you get to Japan, brother, and you fail and you gotta put your tail between your legs, get your ass back on the plane, and go back to England, that's a failure to me. Because you know what I'm saying? Because this brother, he did all he could to get to Japan. Then he get there, he was in Japan, he was set up, and then he didn't make it. That's not a man that's committed, man. That's not a committed individual.
Yeah. And the thing is, before I do go, I'll make sure I have everything under my belt. Like, before I go, I want to make sure I'm confident I can do everything. And once I have it all done, and it's like, okay, like I said, we're ready. Let's apply for such and such. Let's do this. And like I said, let's pass this training and everything.
Yep.
So, and I'm going to tell everybody, I'm like, I can't get time to talk to nobody right now. I mean, I'll call you up, like, yo, I'm going. I got to do my studying. I'll get back in touch with you guys once hopefully I've passed this. And if I passed it, then I'm like, all right, guys, good news, I got it. I'm gonna be working for a good minute. And I think the only time I'm gonna talk to you is on my day off. Things like that.
All I can say, Jay, is do your thing, brother. Wally, do your thing, man. I'm out, brothers.
It's all right, brother. Thank you so much,
brothers, man. Nothing better than a strong black man out there doing his thing, man.
Thank you so much, BSP, for joining us, brother. Like I said,
thank you for having me, brother.
All right, brother. Go be a father. Go do what you do, my man.
All right, brother. You all right, Wally? Nice hooking up with you, dog.
Yeah, man. Always good to hear you from.
Love from my brothers. I'll talk to y'all soon, man.
Yeah, man. So you take care.
All right.
And guys, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy the stream. Wally, do you have anything you want to say before we end it?
I mean, I know I came right in the midst, like the later midst of this, but I always say this for any young man out there, or for anyone that end up listening to this, I say it like this. Push it forward, man. Push it forward. If you don't push, you'll be left behind. So you gotta push it forward.
Yeah. Tonight we held Men Accountable and talked about manhood, talked about marriage, and also some ladies are somewhat responsible, but it's just that's really what it was the majority about. And also I wanted to end it off on that important thing, because like I said, need to hit hard to the men right now. Hit hard to me. Like literally. And it's like a reason for me not to give up, but over a reason for me to push it. Because like I said, guys, I won't be doing YouTube forever. Please understand that. It is what it is there. I'm going to be truthful about you guys with that. And also, guys, before we close it out, guys, I want to say one thing. So I will be taking a 2-week hiatus break from YouTube to learn OBS. Like I said, I'm getting my OBS training right now. To learn how everything works, so I can come back with a better formula. And if I don't get it done in 2, I'll say it to 3 weeks. Like I said, it might be 2 to 3. So let me say that right there. And like I said, content will still be dropping, because I still have pre-recordings, quote unquote, like this one. And I say like this one, but yeah, like this, and I want you to like I said, I want you to look forward to those. Those are going to be dropping because I'm going to have them scheduled dropped. So other than that, guys, this has been your boy Jay Takashi, my man BSP, aka Tokyo 4 that just left, and my man World Top Productions, aka Wally. And by the way, Wally, would you like to tell them a new sphere that you're creating? Or you want to say
No. That's like I said, that's something that's gonna be created. So that's all with progress.
All right.
But I mean, hey, look, if you want to hear it, by all means. I mean, look, I think for most of us that do hear about what happened within these spaces, within the quote unquote manosphere, black manosphere, red pill, and all that other stuff, with a little child that doesn't know nothing about Black people's communities and rhetoric. Look, man, I look at what has been going on these past weeks, and I just said that this has become, clownery. People dropped everything just because of one person and what they do, and it's like you're shocked about this one spill transaction that doesn't have no weight because reality, we already know what we know. At the end of the damn day, it's like I said again. I said it before, so I'm gonna say it again. You gotta push it forward. Stop slowing down for stuff that really doesn't matter when we already know what we know. So yeah. As far as the spirit that Jay Takashi is talking about, I did mention a spirit that's morally about progression because personally, at this point in time, a lot of us want to sit here and say that we want to progress, but I mean, honestly, there hasn't been. People want to talk about progression, but no one hasn't even focused on the skill sets of progression as far as wherever they want to go or how they want to go. You hear a lot of people talking about women this, women that, but it's like, what about you? Focus on you. Let everything else be everything else. Because at the end of the day, marriage or no marriage, you still gotta live for you. So, hey.
And guys, like I said, those are the closing remarks of my man Wally K. World Top Productions. So guys, like I said, 2 to 3 week hiatus. Content will still be dropping, and hopefully you guys like this new mic and everything, this new setup I got, like lights in the background, and everything. Like guys, like I said, I've been trying to, like I said, I made an update on the equipment. I'm trying to make an update to the channel and get this format going a lot better. And I want to take the channel to the next level and hopefully get a push this year so we can get some W's. But other than that, guys, this has been your boy Jay Takashi, What's Our Productions, BPSP. You guys have a nice night. Drink some tea, like I'm doing right now. And honestly, just like I said, get your health checked out. Know what you have in your body. Simple enough. With that being said, peace out, y'all.